Hello everyone, this is Chantal from Gluten-Free Cooking 123.com, and today I'm going to show you how to do pantry cooking. In light of what's happening, my videos are going to be a little bit different for now, just to help us get through this hard time together, and I'm hoping that what I do here will be able to help you to get through this time as well and cook whatever food you have on hand. As for our family, I wasn't able to go grocery shopping before all the stores got emptied. I am thankful though that I do have food in my pantry and I do have food in the freezer. I have some frozen vegetables and some frozen meat. Also, I'm pretty close to be out of fresh vegetables. So some of the vegetables that I have are some celery, some onions. I like to use a lot of onions and I'm having to ration my onions right now, and some garlic. I do have more garlic than this. I fortunately bought several heads of garlic for my last month grocery shopping. I do shop by the month for groceries, and I was about to go to get my groceries and then all this just started happening. So I decided to just stay home because of my situation and I didn't want to risk it, and I didn't want to expose myself and expose my family to this, so I decided to just stay home and do with whatever we have. We have food in our pantry, thank God, and we do have food in our freezer, like I said, so I'm just using what we have. I also ordered some food from Misfits Market. If you guys want, you could use my link to order from them. They sent me an email right after I ordered food from them saying that they are trying their best to keep their food, you know, everything sanitized, and trying to do the best practices and practicing social distancing and all that stuff to keep everyone safe, and they are hiring more people in order to accommodate for the orders and to help with this crisis, really, as it is. And so yeah, I'm still waiting on my order from them. They said there might be some delays, 2 or 3 day delays with getting our orders. I'm okay with that. I still have some food in the fridge. That's all right. Fresh foods, and I really love fresh vegetables and I can't go without them. I just think that it's important to properly sanitize your vegetables when you do get them, or if you buy them from the grocery store, because people are touching them. And whether you get them from the grocery store or whether you order from Misfits Market or any other kind of produce provider. So like I said, if you guys are interested in ordering from Misfits Markets, they do provide fresh vegetables. You will not know what you are getting in your box, but they do tell you what sort of things they do have in that month to give you in your box. You might get something else from something different from someone else, but at least you have fresh vegetables, and they are imperfect produce. They don't make it to the stores, basically. I have an affiliate link with them. If you guys want to, you could get 30% off your order, and I will get 30% of my next order, so you could use my link if you want and help support me, and by getting my groceries, and you help support yourself also by getting your groceries for less money and helping everyone with their businesses as well during this rough time and eating, really. So I don't really have a recipe plan. This is what I do. I used to practice this actually just in case if an emergency situation happened and I needed to know what to do in case if that happened. So how do I use my pantry food if I don't have anything else to cook? Now, if you don't have fresh vegetables, let's say, that's okay. You could add maybe if you have dehydrated onions, or if you have dehydrated garlic, or powdered garlic and onion. So you could use that too. If you have dehydrated parsley, actually just remembered I do have dehydrated green bell peppers. I could use that in something. I'm not going to use them in this recipe, but I will probably use them in something else. So in our family, we do like to have some stocked up food on hand just in case of an emergency, because you never know what could happen, just like this situation. And I'm really thankful that we have that on hand, because like I said, I wasn't able to actually go to the grocery store and get what we need. So let me just show you what I have here for today. If you guys have any other ingredients that you might have on hand at home and you are not sure what to do with them, just list them in the comments down below, and maybe I will be able to help you in creating recipes with those ingredients and come up with something for you guys just to help you out, because I just throw food together and make new recipes. That's what I do, and I love doing that. Actually, this is just one of my hobbies, just create new recipes. So I would be happy to help you out if you don't know what to do with the food that you have, and give you ideas. So post them down in the comments below wherever you are, whether you're on Facebook or on YouTube. Just let me know what ingredients you have, and maybe I'll be able to help you with creating new recipes with those ingredients, so that you don't just eat the same thing over and over and eat rice and beans over and over. That's not what we want, right? We want healthy food, and we want food that's comforting as well too. Let me show you what we have here. So I have two cans of black beans. You could use any type of beans you have, even if they are in a vegetable broth or even chicken broth, that would be great too. Actually, I'm thinking of adding some chicken bouillon, or I do have chicken broth, I could use that too. I'll just probably use a chicken bouillon, that's what I'll do. And I have here a hearty tomato soup. You could use tomato soup for tomatoes if you want, or you could use pasta sauce or canned tomatoes, maybe tomato sauce, but I'm saving those for other recipes. Just in case if I needed them. I thought this will probably play well with this, because it does already have, it has the tomato sauce in it, and it has the tomatoes, it has some vegetables in it like onions and stuff like that. So here I could read actually the list of ingredients for you guys. It does have corn syrup in it though, and sugar, and cornstarch. It has salt, modified food starch, olive oil, corn protein, potassium chloride, tomato extract, dried parsley, maltodextrin, garlic powders, spice, calcium chloride, natural flavor, citric acid, ascorbic acid, onion powder, turmeric extract, and it does have tomato puree and water. Okay, so, but it contains less than 2% of the other stuff that I just read, because I didn't read it in order. I do that all the time. Anyways, so, I mean, it's not healthy, right? If you want healthy, you just use a tomato sauce, maybe. That's a lot better. But if this is all that you have, you could do this. And I have here a can of carrots, a can of corn. You could add any vegetables you want. You could also add green beans maybe. But I do have here some fresh celery that I'm storing in some water to keep it longer in the fridge. And also I have some fresh garlic, some fresh onion, and for protein, other than the beans, of course, I have here some roast beef. Now if you do have ground beef, use that, right? But I'm just showing you if all you have is just pantry food, shelf-stable food, what do you do? So I have here this roast beef, sorry for the lighting, and I'm just going to use that and see how it's going to turn out. If you don't have this, you don't have to use it. You could use anything else. If you even have canned sausages, canned Spam, or whatever it is, you could chop that up, maybe stir fry it a little bit, and then add it into the food. Add maybe some coconut oil or vegetable oil, whichever oil you have. If you don't have oil, that's okay. Put in a splash of water in the pot and just let it steam a little bit. Cover it and let it steam for a few minutes before you add all the rest of the ingredients. It just helps to bind the flavors together. So let's see what we can do with what we have right here for dinner for tonight. Another thought, you could add some potatoes, and I do have probably 2 potatoes, but I don't want to use them because I want to grow some eyes on them so that I can plant them. If you have canned potatoes, you could use that, and if you have fresh carrots, you could also use that. Use whatever on hand, whatever you have on hand. So let's start on making this recipe up. Okay. So since I have some onions, I'm going to chop some onions right now. Why not, right? Actually, this onion doesn't look very good. try to use as much as I can from it before it completely goes bad. And I just started saving for my compost pile actually, because the weather is starting to warm up a little bit. Some days are still freezing up here in our area, but we are having a lot more warm days than normal. I'm just starting to prep the garden for the spring and possibly plant some cold weather crops. I'm going to add my onions into the pot. I didn't add oil yet, I will add it in later. You could heat the pot and add in some oil before, but I'm just trying to go quick right here. I'm trying to ration my use of vegetables, so I do want to use a little more garlic because it is healthy for us, especially in this time. Fresh garlic would probably be healthier, but it's better than nothing. I don't have my regular knife. It's in the dishwasher. Instead I'm using a cake knife. I'm just mincing it roughly. I do also actually have minced garlic in the fridge in a jar. And I'm going to add this directly in with my onions. Going to grab about, oops, 2 sprigs of parsley, and whenever I use this I just fill it up with water again until it covers all the stalks, not parsley, sorry, celery. Cutting at an awkward angle just so that you guys can see better what I'm doing. Unfortunately, I don't have an island, but I'm just using what I have, right? Just like anything, just like everything else. Can't be complaining about islands right now. We are just going to set these aside and work on our onions and garlic right now. Okay, so I'm going to add a couple tablespoons of vegetable oil, sorry. I'm going to turn my stove on high and then reduce the temperature once the pot gets a little hot. That rhymes. Okay, I'm just stirring my onion and garlic together so that the garlic does not burn. You don't want it to be on high heat once it heats up because your onions and garlic will burn up. So we will reduce it to medium high once this pot gets hot, because this is like a Dutch oven, so it takes time for it to heat up, and I kind of want to speed up the process. Meanwhile, while this is happening, I'm going to make some rice. Okay, so the pot is hot right now. I'm going to reduce the temperature to medium. And once the garlic smell comes out, which is, it did come out right now, it is very aromatic. I love that smell. I'm going to add in my celery. And seriously, this is how I cook. I don't measure. I take a recipe and I just change it to what I like it. Many times I just make up food as I go. And I just love cooking. And cooking is not complicated. You just have to use your senses, your sense of smell, and see how the flavors are combining together. Use your nose. And it helps you to know whether the food is actually going to taste good or not. And also look at the color, look at the texture of the food as you cook it. It's not really that difficult. The more you practice, the more you will get the hang of it. I've been cooking since I was 11 years old for an entire family. I had when I started cooking, I had 3 brothers and my sister was not born yet, and I would cook for the whole family. My parents would go to the olive field and harvest olives, and they would leave me no, actually, I'm sorry, my sister was born. I was cooking before that, but I would cook for an entire family when I was 11. My mom was teaching me how to cook before I was 11, but she basically handed me the cooking and said, here, cook for us. We're going to the field to harvest some olives, and I would take care of my sister and I would cook. And that really taught me a lot, and I keep telling that to my kids, and to encourage them, not to say, hey, you know, you should be like me, but no, to encourage them that you can do this too. If I did it, you can do it. She'd give me the instructions and I would follow them. And I just loved cooking, and I loved experimenting with food, and I'd get upset because I can't change the recipe to the way how I want to change it because my mom wouldn't trust me. I understand if I was, you know, because of that, though, I'm willing to give my kids the freedom to make their own dishes and change their, you know, the recipe to the way how they think is best. Like my daughter, for example, when she makes eggs, she puts tons of thyme on it. Spice thyme, not thyme. And she says that's the way how she likes it. So I say, okay. I'm going to add some spices right now. Adding in the spices just helps them to add that aroma to the food. I'm going to add some black pepper. Like I said, if you don't have onions and garlic, you could add powdered onions and powdered garlic. If you don't have those, that's okay. You could add in whatever spices you have, if you do have spices. If not, oh well. I am going to add some oregano from my garden from a couple years ago. I dried this and it still tastes so good. Just gonna crush it in my hands. And adding it in right now, like I said, it helps the flavors to develop when you do fry it a little bit. I'm going to add in some basil. Not too much. Some white pepper. Not too much because it's spicy. Actually, I'm going to add some rosemary too. I love rosemary. My husband doesn't like it very much, so I don't add too much of it. I just add a little bit. I could take the chili route and add some chili powder. I don't think I want to though. I'm going to add in some parsley. As you guys can see, I'm not really measuring anything. I just dump it in, kind of eyeball it. Maybe that was about a half a tablespoon or so. And some paprika. Whew, added in a lot. Okay, so they're sauteed now. The spices smell good. I would have added hot pepper, but I don't want my kids to say it's too spicy. So now we're going to add in our other ingredients. So the first thing I'm going to add is my tomato soup, just to deglaze the pot. And I'm going to add some water in here, swish it around just to get all that extra tomatoey goodness, and then, like I said, deglaze the pot. Just have the spoon touch the bottom of the pot. If it's a non-stick pot, make sure to use a wooden spoon. I'm going to add in my beans. I have 2 cans. Adding them in with their juices because they do have some good flavor. That's 2 cans of beans. Now I'm going to add my roast beef. I might add in some more black pepper in there. Could have chopped the roast beef. I didn't know it was that way. That's okay. I'm going to simmer it anyways on low once it comes into a boil. Now I'm going to drain these 2 cans, the carrots and the corn. If you have frozen corn or frozen carrots, you could use those too. Okay. Now I'm going to add my cans. I have here my corn. Make sure you don't splash on yourself. I did drain them, of course. And I will add in a little more black pepper because I feel like I didn't add enough. I don't have the type that you crush. I'm not going to add salt yet. I will add that at the end. I am going to add, though, 2 of these small chicken bouillon cubes. And these are Weiler's brand chicken cube. They are gluten-free. They don't have any wheat in them, not that I know of. I'm not gonna bother crushing them. They will melt as the soup gets hot. You could eat this as a soup or you could serve it with rice. I am going to serve it with rice just to make it more filling. And I'm going to add a little more water in here, about a cup or so, not too much. I am going to give it a quick taste just to see if I need to add anything else. I know that's not the full taste, but I just wanted to see if the spices are good. Yeah, perfect, perfect. It tastes so good already. Seriously, this is good food. Yes, it's canned food, but it's good food. It's good apocalypse food. Okay, so we're going to cover it, and I'm going to bring the temperature on high just to bring it to a boil. And then after that, we are going to reduce it to medium low. The longer it simmers, the better it is going to taste. So just make sure to give it some time to simmer. I like to simmer it for an hour or maybe longer. It's probably going to simmer for an hour and a half at my house. But if you do want to make it quick, you can too. It is probably not going to taste as good, even though it tastes really good right now already without anything else. It doesn't really need salt, actually. I don't need to add any salt to this. So it just tastes perfect. That's it. After it's done, I'll show you how it turns out. And I personally probably am going to eat it like a soup, maybe with a little bowl of rice on the side, because I don't like my rice to mix with the food, which is weird, but I don't. And yeah, I'll show you how it turns out. So that's it for today, guys. This is how the soup looks like, or it's super hot right now. I will risk burning myself for you though. I did add a little bit of salt at the end though, and I did add some thyme and some extra oregano to add some more flavor in here. If I would have remembered, I would have added in a bay leaf as well at the beginning of the cooking process, but I totally forgot about that and it was a little bit too late right now. So if you have bay leaf, you could do that too. And like I said, you could take this like the chili route, you could add chili spices to it, and you can add anything that you have in your pantry, any vegetables or anything in your any vegetables in your fridge or in your freezer, and this would make a really delicious soup, or it would make sort of like a side dish to rice with it, like accompanied with rice. Maybe you could add in some potatoes to it just to make it heartier, thicken it up maybe with some cornstarch or rice flour. And if you're not gluten-free, you could also thicken it up with some wheat if you want and make it more like a stew. Ow, the bowl is so hot. It's very good. I think I did add in a little bit too much thyme, but it's still very good. I think with rice this would be perfect. You could add some hot sauce in here too. I like to eat my food with some kimchi or maybe some sauerkraut or something on the side like that. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you liked this video. I hope it was helpful to you. If you have any pantry food that you don't know what to do with, how to use it, or you're feeling like you're lost and you don't know how to cook, maybe you're not used to cooking food, you know, and now in this situation all of a sudden you have to start cooking, what do you do? So these are some ideas for you guys. So if you have any, like I said, if you have any food in your pantry or in your fridge or whatever and you don't know what to do with it, list them down in the comment section below, and then I'll see how I can help you and maybe come up with some recipes for you guys. So stay safe, stay positive, encourage each other, and I'll see you again in the next episode. Please don't forget to hit the like button if you like this video, and hit the subscribe if you are new to this channel, subscribe button if you are new to this channel, and share this video with your friends and family so that they can also get some ideas on how to cook food from their pantry.